Get in the know. Non-stop Vikings talk. It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
I still firmly believe that G-Money is headed to have still his best career yet. I want to say we've kicked the most 50-plus yard balls in the entire NFL right now. And so, those things have started to connect. You saw him hit a 56-yarder in the first game of the season. So he'll right the ship. We'll make sure we're all good from a protection standpoint. The operation is clean, and we'll be good to go there.
It is. The confidence.
I love G-Money.
G-Money.
Little Greg Joseph, number one, trots on the field. They call him G-Money.
Yeah, he's only 1 for 5 on his 50-plus yard field goals. So hopefully the turf in Miami will be a friendly place for G-Money to knock one through.
His stock is shrinking.
It is. It's not been a good start for him. This is Purple Daily, stock on the rise, hopefully. Daily Vikings entertainment, where we just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. And this is our Purple Picks episode, where we go through a series of important questions about the upcoming game and make our official picks. The show is presented by our friends over at TCL, which TCL is one of the world's best-selling consumer electronics brands, and they have a new lineup of award-winning TVs delivering the most entertainment with stunning resolution, all at an affordable cost. Enjoy more of the things you love with TCL, and don't forget to join us. You guys will be out at Surly Brewing Company this Sunday for a little Vikings watch party and a live taping of Vikings Vent Line. So we're pumped to invite a bunch of people out. Come up and say hi. Go give Judd a big hug.
I'll be out there entire game talking purple.
Yep.
Consuming not as many Surlys and Before I Dies as I would probably like, but consuming a few. And then, hopefully celebrating a Vikings victory afterwards with a live edition of Vent Line. And keep in mind, too, just to be clear, because I saw some tweets, Vent Line will be normal as well. So, if you watch us from around the country, nothing changes.
Yeah, we'll still bring you into the show.
It's not exclusive.
Yep,
yes, exactly right. So there no changes. We will all, the Purple Daily family, all invited, but some of you can be there live.
Yes. This is 11. This is our version of 11 personnel with Vent Line. This is our 11 personnel version of Vent Line.
We're going
it's a concert.
We're gonna do it live. Bleep it. We'll do it live.
I saw that a couple days ago again. That's such a
never gets old.
Nope.
All right, let's start with so if we have Vikings Dolphins this weekend. We'll get to the actual picks here in a few minutes, but on a scale of 1 to 10, a lot of people took issue with you guys downplaying the importance of a divisional game last week. They did wind up winning it, so we didn't get to do the other show, which is, oh my God, they melted down and blew a 3-touchdown lead against the Bears. But this is a non-divisional, not even a conference game.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how big is this game?
Oh, this is well, it probably gains a little bit of importance because you're playing a third-string quarterback in a game I thought that you were going to lose, and now I'm not sure that you can. I mean, obviously you can, but third-string quarterback. But I'm still going to say a 4. Partially what I'm basing, just to so the audience knows where I'm coming from on this, okay? I put more importance on the Detroit game because you were coming off the Philadelphia game, and I wanted to see something there, and at least we did. I mean, it wasn't a great game, but they won. By the Chicago game, I was a bit more confident. And in this case, at 4-1, chance to obviously be 5-1 going into the bye. I'm not downplaying the importance, but as Phil said, it's not a conference game. It's a game in which you have created a bit of a cushion for yourself through success against your division opponents. So I'm going to give it a 4.
I think a 4 is probably fair. You're playing a backup QB, backup QB, I should say.
Backup to the backup.
And we'll see even if Teddy's active, he has to get out of concussion protocol. So you might have 2 active quarterbacks who basically are third and practice squad guys, respectively. And in general, even if you were, I don't think the Vikings will lose this game. If you lose it, you're 4-2 going into the bye. And if we would have said, hey, going into the bye week at the beginning of the season, the Vikings will be 4-2. I won't tell you how the wins go. I won't tell you where the losses are either, but they'll be 4-2. Would you take it? And I think we would take that 10 out of 10 times. So it's a 4. I would like for them to go into a road game, even though it's in a not your home environment, and just beat the crap out of a third string QB. But in general, this first stretch of the season going into the bye week has been a success, but I'll put it at a 4 out of 10 in its level of importance.
I don't know, maybe we all just sort of see the football world differently here, but I've got this game at like a 7.5 again. Importance. and I'll tell you why. My expectations are shifting here after the 4-1 start. You have built up great equity, and so I'm not thinking of it as, oh, you built up great equity, so now you can afford to lose one. I'm thinking, okay, we are like a third of the way through the season. After this game, you'll be more than a third of the way through the season, and you are one game out of the first place spot in the National Football Conference. You need to rack these wins against teams that you should beat. You're playing a third-string quarterback. I think it's very important right now if you want to play a home playoff game and if you want to be in the mix for the number 1 overall seed, which they are in contention for, but they're a game and a tiebreaker off the Eagles right now. You need to drum the teams that you are favored against. So like the Bills game, super important for other reasons, but I think the importance level of this game is actually high because like you should win it to get to 5-1 and keep some separation between you and the Packers as well. So I agree with all the things you said, which is it's not like a crippling thing if you lose it, but I think they need to keep their foot on the gas and keep showing that they're improving as a team. Is anyone playing or coaching for their job this week?
Jordan Hicks. I mean,
kind of, right? Kind
Asamoah is going to get more time, and I think the coaching staff loves him, and I don't blame them.
Coaching staff has come out this week and said we'd like to find, we love our veterans, but we really want to find some time for. Apparently, they showed Asamoah wrecking people on special teams to the team in film this week.
He loves to hit. He is a hitter, which I absolutely love. I'd say Jordan Hicks. I think that if you are going to move away from a veteran, he's the one, right? Because he's new here. Like Harrison Smith, Kendricks, those guys are established here. I think it would be seen as much more of a ding if you were to bench them. I'm not implying that they are going to be benched. I'm just saying the Asamoah Hicks transition, while not easy, is probably about as smooth as you can get with a veteran player. So yes, I will say Jordan Hicks continues to play for his job.
Keep in mind, Tyreek Hill was a little bit limited in practice, and I believe he's probable, so he's probably going to play. But you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I know Skylar Thompson's a third-string quarterback, but you have two pretty lethal wide receivers there in Miami. Is Chandon Sullivan starting to play for his job a little bit if Andrew Booth now and a Caleb Evans start getting more run in practice? I don't think they're going to be making it a change immediately, but I would look at potentially a Caleb Evans, Andrew Booth being someone who could sub in a little bit more for Chandon Sullivan, because I think in general, this is off the top of my head, Phil, and I don't know if the PFF checks out, but he hasn't been anything spectacular as a coverage cornerback so far. No. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of those rookies starts to breathe down his neck a little bit more, especially if he continues to have, lackluster performances.
Judge, do we know who specifically is the backup slot cornerback right now? Is there like an official?
No, and I think Booth. That the thing that Chandon has is that skill set, and that's part of the problem. Is I don't know if there would be a confidence to move a rookie inside, because that's a big ask.
Yeah.
Declan's point is a valid one, because yes, I don't think Chandon is a great player, and I think he's probably a 1-year fix. My guess is Evans would slide inside before Booth at this point. But yeah, I mean, he has not been great, and I don't think there was an expectation he was going to be. And in this league now, if you are weak at that spot in the nickel corner, it's going to be exploited. So that's another concern. I mean, the defense flat out is just filled with some concerns.
Yeah, it's a work in progress, but I think it's a multi-year plan to get the defense the way they want it to, but I'm still fine with the focus being on the offense and Kevin O'Connell trying to get that thing to be a machine and then do what you can on defense. Yep. Yeah, I think maybe Cam Bynum is off to kind of a weird start, but there's not like super obvious answers anymore now that if Lewis Seen was knocking on the door, I would say that's the obvious one, but he's not going to play now. So and Ed Donatel, I know people are saying Ed Donatel should be coaching for his job. They're not firing Ed Donatel.
No.
Not in season. It would have to get a lot worse than it is right now. Okay, what is the biggest storyline you're interested in this game?
I think for me, it's this. It's simple, and again, because of the fact that the Vikings are going to be playing almost certainly a third-string quarterback, it's not as difficult. But I'm interested to see how this team travels. I'm interested to see. I mean, going on the road in this league is difficult. And the Philadelphia game against a superior team than what the Vikings are going to be facing on Sunday was a disaster. But, never underestimate going on the road against almost any team in this league. And this team at home has struggled at times, but found ways to win. That becomes exponentially more difficult on the road. And so I am just curious. And I think O'Connell's on the right track here. I really like what he's done so far. But I'm interested to see in a game that's going to be played in the heat. It's going to be difficult. Guys are going to tire down far more than they obviously do playing in US Bank Stadium. The storyline for me is the Vikings traveling and how they look playing in a hostile environment.
For me, it's going to be the same thing. I think I've said 3 times in a row now because they've played just kind of backup and slappy quarterbacks for the most part. I want them to just punish Skylar Thompson. I want them to go in there, and it's a road game, but I want Daniil Hunter to get in and get more pressure on the quarterbacks. Zadarius Smith, same thing. You're playing a third stringer here. Miami has their backs against the wall after a really hot start, and they've lost both their quarterbacks to concussion protocols. Yeah, there's still really nice weapons in Miami, and maybe they're still able to cook up a decent amount of offense because they have good wide receivers and good running back depth in general. But I would love for the Vikings defense to just punish a seventh round pick. That's what I want to see. I want to see this defense go in there and just shove it down the face of a third string quarterback.
I think it's to me the storyline is sort of a continuation of the offense averaging 28 points per game the last 3, and now they take it on the road. And Miami's defense is a yardage sieve so far this year. They've been in some shootouts. They've given up a lot of points. And right now, the Dolphins, so the Vikings are near the bottom in terms of yards per play allowed. The Dolphins are 29th in the NFL in yards per play allowed. They're allowing 6.1 yards per play. And in the passing game, opposing quarterbacks so far this season have a 106.2 passer rating, which is the 4th best passer rating against any defense in the NFL. Only the Raiders, Seahawks, and Titans have allowed quarterbacks to look better. So I think this should be a game where you light the sky with your passing game. It should be a big Justin Jefferson game. It should be a big Kirk Cousins game. So I want to see the storyline here where the offense is averaging 28.5 points a game the last 3 weeks. Go score 4 touchdowns again and make a third-string quarterback put up 30 points to beat you, which is not going to happen.
Make him cry is what you're saying.
Make him cry. Curl up in the fetal position
anymore,
like
Mike.
a coward.
Coach
yes.
McDaniel, I don't want to do this. I want to go home.
All right. What scares you the most about the Dolphins?
Well, Tua did, but he doesn't now. What scares me the most about the Dolphins? Tyreek Hill potentially playing does, I guess. Because, I mean, my God, when you are as explosive as he can be, and I don't care who gets him the ball, if he gets the ball in his hands, this defense, last time I looked, ain't exactly fast. It's a little bit long in the tooth. It's got some problems when it comes to speed. Tyreek Hill defines speed. And so even if he is at 85%, I still think that there's a fighting chance he can outrun almost the entire Vikings defense. So that's what scares me the most is Tyreek Hill being put on a day where they're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have our third string slappy quarterback feed this star player the ball. And he has a huge game. I'm guessing that McDaniel, being like O'Connell in the sense that he's a very good offensive mind, is trying to scheme up ways to do that. Watched plenty of Vikings film. And so if that snowball starts to go down the hill, I don't know if you can stop it easily.
Yeah, the Dolphins probably have one of the best 2 wide receiver duels in the NFL, and in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Even Mike Gesicki is a good tight end for them. They actually haven't been pretty effective at running the ball, despite having Raheem Morissette and Chase Edmonds. Like, they have 2 kind of scat backs there that can be pretty effective, but they're like 30th so far this season in terms of rushing yards. So their offensive weapons scare me, but I think with a third string quarterback, I just don't think it's going to be as explosive as it should be. But those 2 wide receivers are good, man. They could burn those Vikings cornerbacks no problem on paper.
Yeah, I don't mean to be like overconfident here, but there's nothing about the Dolphins that scares me with a third string, 7th round pick rookie quarterback. Maybe like Mike McDaniels he's a creative schemer, and so is there a way where he can put together something that gets the ball to weapons? But actually, the thing that scares me the most is the weather. 85 degrees, 70% humidity.
Balmy.
I think like this is one of the rare games you're going to play in where it's really hot.
Yeah.
It's very sunny, and guys could like if Justin Jefferson cramps up or something, or if Zadarius Smith cramps up. Like I could actually see weather being a bigger factor here. And you're used to it if you're Miami. You know, the Vikings they're not practicing in a whole lot of 85 degree, outside of maybe training camp.
Right.
70 degree or 70% humidity situations.
Bananas. It's the key thing.
A lot of
Start
bananas.
to ramp up.
Potassium. That's right.
Got to have that potassium. Take a lot of bananas.
The UV index 9 out of 10 on Sunday in Miami.
Sunscreen.
So be careful.
Get that sunscreen out.
Yep. I'll tell you what. Get your Prize Picks app out is what I would recommend for the people, because Prize Picks is an easy way to play daily fantasy. You pick between 2 and 5 players, and an over/under on their projections. You can win up to 10 times on any entry. It's always fun betting the overs, but if there's a garbage game like last night, you might want to fade some certain players here and there too. Use the promo code NORTH, and Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. That's promo code NORTH, and Prize Picks will match up to $100. So check them out, prizepicks.com or the Prize Picks app. All right, this morning, 5:25, and Maya Mackey said, I want my Nutrisource chicken and rice. And so begrudgingly, all right, we'll get up. Please sleep till 6 if you can, but I can't blame you. That food looks amazing. If I'm a dog, keeps my digestive and gut system healthy, Judd.
Yeah.
I get it.
Delicious too. Delicious. In fact, that's what Stella tells me right there. That little girl tells me, you know what, Daddy, food is delicious. And that's why at 5:10 a.m. this morning, I was being pawed at. And I was being told, you're going to wake up right now and you are going to feed me. And then at 7:20, she woke up again and said, it's Nutrisource time again. I know I can't get a meal this time, but what I can get is those tasty treats. You see, that's the thing. Nutrisource, they have the menu du jour. They have the French kiss when it comes to puppy food.
Yeah, you can go to NutrisourcePetFoods.com to find a retailer somewhere near you. NutrisourcePetFoods.com, Minnesota-based company. You can find them all across the country. The official dog food of Purple Daily and Mackie and Judd. All right, let's pick the game here. I'll give you guys some information here, and then we can go around the room. So Vikings, I'm kind of shocked this hasn't moved more, but on Action Network, they've got all sorts of different sports books and lines, and it's basically Vikings 3-point favorites across the board on this one. Vikings, I believe, opened before the quarterback stuff as underdogs, but now they are 3-point favorites. 51% of bets are on the Vikings, so it's basically 50-50, but 76% of the money is on the Dolphins, which means there's probably some like smart big money bettors that are coming in and betting on the Dolphins to cover the spread in this game.
Very interesting. Yeah.
A few more things here from Action Network. The Vikings are the first team in the past 20 years to start 4-1, but be just 1-4 against the spread.
Interesting.
So, interesting. The Vikings have lost 4 consecutive games against the spread. On the other side, there's the Jets curse. The Dolphins lost to the Jets in Week 5. The past 12 teams to lose to the Jets are 2-10 against the spread in their next game. That's weird. The Dolphins, however, are 24-11 against the spread at home over the last 4 years, the most profitable team in the NFL at home over that stretch. So when in doubt, bet the Dolphins at home against the spread.
Okay.
So with all of that said, Vikings are 3-point favorites. Who wins? Who covers?
So I think this game is going to be closer than we think because it's a road game and weird things take place. And this Vikings team, since week 1 at least, has not really shown a penchant for burying teams yet. I don't know that they have yet developed that killer instinct that Bob Knight likes so much. But I think the Vikings do win. And I think I think they cover. I think it's like a 4-point game, a 5-point. It's a close game. It might be 3. Hell, it might push again. But yes, I think the Vikings win. This is the first game, by the way, since we did our last schedule prediction, in which I am correcting myself, because I think up until now I've had all of the predictions of wins correct and defeats in Philly. This time I predicted that because I thought the Vikings would be facing Tua, that they would lose this game. I'm going to switch it now, and I'm going to say they cover and they win.
Yeah, I think the Vikings do cover indeed. That's so funny that they are 1-4 against the spread, but are the only 4-1 team to ever do so. Yeah, I just think with the backup QB, and even though it's on the road and you're favored being on the road in Miami, I think the Vikings are able to cover this spread. They win by 4 or more points. Yes, just go out there and beat a third-string quarterback. Let's speak this into existence.
It's so weird because I understand where some of the smart bettors are coming from, saying, wait a second, the Vikings are not as good as their record if you look at some of the underlying things, and people are going to just be bailing on the Dolphins because they're down to a backup quarterback. But I think those same smart bettors would say it's not like Tua wasn't one of the 15 best quarterbacks in the league. The scheme was elevating Tua and getting wide receivers wide open those first few weeks. So the gap between Tua and backup quarterbacks isn't as wide as maybe the public thinks. So I understand all the logic of sharp money coming in on the Dolphins here, but I just can't get past, like, I don't know how the Dolphins are going to score 20 points. And I don't see a scenario in which the Vikings struggle to score in this game unless Kirk just has like a weird road game, which could happen. Like there's definitely some weird Kirk things that could happen here. Yeah. So I see you, sharp bettors. I get what you're doing, but I think you're overthinking it. Vikings win, Vikings cover.
All right.
Not a blowout, but like the Vikings grind one out here. Maybe it's close in the second half.
The one thing the Sharps are doing that makes some sense too, though, is they are basically looking at the matchup between Mike McDaniel and Donatel and the defense. Mm-hmm. And I get that because the thing about it is, to your point, Phil, this defense is going to tire. Like, think about it. It's a lot of old guys playing in heat. So, like, I get that. I'm just hard pressed to say that the Vikings are going to lose a game in which they're playing against a third string QB, which, by the way, they're very capable of in past incarnations. I guess I'm going with this team being a little bit different.
Yeah. All right, so there it is. We're all on the side of the Vikings here this week, going into the bye week. No matter what, worst case scenario, they will be 4-2 going into the bye, which I think all of us would have taken before the season. Hey, do you want them to be 4-2? And you could choose behind door number 2 if you want to, but if they go 5-1 into the bye and then they get some home games, I mean, the second half, it's not really the second half, but like the second part of the schedule shapes up very nicely schedule-wise. So go win this game, get to 5-1, and then have a legitimate chance to make some noise for one of those top seeds in the NFC. So there it is. That's a wrap on this episode of Purple Daily. We'll see you guys. You'll see everyone tomorrow at Surly Brewing Company. I'll see you on the Purple Daily YouTube channel for Vikings Vent Line right after this game finishes up.